Hopefully, again, this works. Looks like it's going to work. I guess I'll find out. Maybe not. Hold on. Hold on. Is it working? Active. Just trying to see if this is working. Maybe not. Yeah, that's working. Okay. Okay, just checking it. Yeah, that's working. When I do restream, I never know if it's going to connect the right way. Okay, just checking it. Yeah, that's working. When I do restream, I never know if it's going to connect the right way. Okay, just checking it. Yeah, that's working. When I do restream, I never. Okay, guys, I think I got everything going. So, all I gotta say is what a week it's going to be and what a week it has been in the past. I don't think people know this about me. I will accumulate information for years on directions I have to go in. And I'll sit back and listen and be quiet about things until I have to say something. And so I've been getting a lot of emails on this California prediction. So, which is weird because, sorry, I get some people are very upset, I have to tell you, and because I explained it in detail how things have to be, I have to tell you, sorry, and how it's supposed to be done. So, so I want to go over that first. So let me grab, this will be easier way if you can see it. The pictures that I wanted to use to go over some information. Just because I'm getting a lot of emails and the same questions, so I just kind of want to go over things. So we're doing this. Okay. So you all know that this is happening, which is breaking news. The damn lights are not letting me show this. Anyway, breaking news, California, of course. And that is a 4.2 earthquake strike near Malibu, California. Okay. Now, what I want to talk about is how I said these were going to come together in one process. So I'm up early because I don't drink at night and I go to bed early. So, well, sometimes it depends on what I'm working on. So anyway, now the rain was going to have to go very deep into the ground and really submerge into the ground, saturating the ground. And then everything was going to shift downwards. So everything's saturated. Things are going to deteriorate in levels. So because I did about a year ago, I did about the soil that's under California, and the lowest soil was black. And then there was more of a grainier soil, and then we went up to a sand soil, and then just the top level. So it showed me the soil level that we were at on things. Then it showed me on the coastland how it would be sliding down, and then by the coastland you will start to see the deterioration. So after the storm kind of settles down a little bit, you're going to see deterioration. You're going to see things start to fall and roads start to fall. That's how this was going to happen. And after that soil and that weight was going to be horrendous on that land and everything, and the weight and give way. And you're seeing in those processing, and so you're seeing the mudslides, you're seeing the sinkholes. I don't know if I can show you actually the line on this. I'm going to see if I can. I might be able to. Hold 1 second. Okay, hold on. So maybe you can do from here. Nope. Gosh, I hate these lights. Okay. I'll put it in the this is the worst thing. I'm not good putting it on putting all the papers on. That's not my thing. So I'm sure you could find it on YouTube or Instagram, the pictures. But on the coast, there was it's very close from Fort Bragg's all the way down to Orange County. And there's a red line. Everybody keeps asking me about that red line. I'll put that red line in the YouTube comment section so you can see. I added a red line so people are getting confused with that red line. Now, but then they showed an opening where you can see the water through when this is divided, when that land starts to divide and it goes out to sea. It starts to shift. Just checking on here. I know it's early for people, but it's not for me. When that happens, things will start to expand. They showed me. And then with all that weight, all that soil and everything, then the plates would start to give way. And not in just one earthquake. It was going to be several earthquakes all the way from Fort Bragg, that was the big one, all the way down to Orange County. So, and there will be some little ones probably all over California, but not too severe area as the LA area that I saw that was going to be very severe. So I even had psychics send me emails, and they were upset that they're telling me I'm wrong about it, and I'm like, this prediction was 3 years ago. I don't do predictions in the last 2 weeks. I do predictions when the spirit tells me to do them. Sorry, and it is laid out the way it is laid out. I do not try to change it. I do not try to adapt it. I wait for things to happen, and then I move on to another one. It is not something that I'm trying to make people feel uncomfortable about, or, I'm not making this stuff up. I just put the documentation out there, and then I wait for it to show itself. And if the spiritual community doesn't like that, I don't care, because people need to be warned and people need to hear the truth. So if it didn't adapt to your prediction, that's not my problem. That is not my problem. And I'm not putting people in fear. I am warning them. So, anyway, since we got that situation, so I'm kind of letting you know this is going to be a process. But the whole thing is you're going to start to see it shift like this, from those counties, from that Orange County to Fort Bragg. It's going to shift. You're going to see an opening. That's what you need to pay attention to. So, so that's what they showed me on that. And I've been talking about this for 3 years. And they even told me before the ice storms, then it would go straight to California. And that's what happened, because it was an ice storm in New York, and then it went straight to California. So that's where we're at on that. And that's what I'm trying to explain to people. And that's just the way it is. It's just, that is what has happened in the format that we're at on a stage right now of this presence. So I think there's been a long enough time that we have warned people about this. And so now they're just going to have to ride it out in where they're at until things change there. So you have to take the information in the way you can. I'm not trying to upset people, but this is the way it is. So, and I can wait 5 years for a prediction, as it shows me itself. And then it is the details, you start to see a consistency of the details. It's not just like, well, there's an earthquake. I give details. I don't just say there's an earthquake happening. I write details. I draw details. It's all in the proof. So, anyway, that's part of the situation. So, and I don't know why it's upsetting them, but they're getting upset and they're asking questions. And I don't know, maybe it's because they predicted something and didn't go along with theirs. I don't know. It's just stupid. So anyway, so that's the information on the earthquake. And sinkholes. Don't forget about the sinkholes, because there's going to be a lot of those right on the coastline, and you're going to start to see fences, telling you not to go past. And I'm telling you, the deterioration is going to be bad. Plus all the fact that all the houses that they are removing in LA and tearing them down, and I said tearing them down, this has nothing to do with the volcanoes. You need to look around and pay attention in LA. So they're already on top of that, on that process. Now, here's another one I want to talk about. Gold and silver. Another one, I think you can go back to James Rink's show probably 3 years ago. I've said it then and I'll say it now. I've told you guys, gold and silver. I haven't weighed any difference on the gold and the silver. I said stick with the gold and silver. That's going to be your key on that. Because anything else was not going to adapt to a new system. Just because they want it doesn't mean it's going to happen. So talking about these certain things because I'm getting tons of emails about these certain situations. And then after that's done, I told you that certain cities would be surrounded and pushed into a corner and filtered out. Start looking for the white buses that are with black windows. Don't freak out. It's part of the process. It needs to happen. Sorry, I'm looking. I'm just presenting information, and how I get it, I present it to you, and I wait for that verification to come in. So they have to vent, what is it called? Put people in certain categories in those cities and get their information, or where they decide to store them, certain cases, to get information. So we're in that. So don't freak out. Don't, think something else is going on. I'm sure other people will say it's a different way, but it's not. So it's something that has to happen. And I also told you, once 3D starts going down, everything is replaced. There's one, something goes down, something else is replaced immediately. And I said with the market, you're going to see a day where it's all going to go down and right back up. So do not freak out about it. So, sorry, the housing market, you're good at staying steady for a while and staying in the position that you're in, because things are changing with how things are seen and how they will be leased out. You're going to have to just have patience. Anything to change over, you have to have patience with. The food shortage stuff, I don't believe in, and I've told you guys that. I think the standards of food are changing, and we're going up to a higher standard. I would definitely tell you that there are a big chain facility out there I would not even buy dog food at. So let it ride out, let it be dismantled. And that's what I see on those things. So how do I adjust something that's upsetting people? I don't know how to explain this to you. So I have my own agenda, what needs to be done in a direction, and how long it takes, 3 years, a year and a half, whatever that process is, because I see through things, through it, through the flesh, and I know the intentions of that person or whatever it is. And see, I see information of dismantling phases, and they're a part of that process, and I go by that process. And that'll never change the way I handle things. It makes people feel uncomfortable, and I'm okay with it being uncomfortable, because at the end, you will know the truth. You will be seeing very clearly what is true, and this mirage of different information to lead us to a trap is being seen. Change is hard for people, but we're at a time and era that you need to think on your own. No one is going to come show you the direction. It is your instinct that is starving for your attention, because it has the answer. And that is where we're at in time. Not enough products that you can buy or be sold, pushing that in your face that that's going to help the situation. What you reach to and what you need is inside you, and it is free to use and utilize, because in the coming days, you're going to want to use it in a very good way. Instinct. That's a good one. So I'm getting all these questions about certain things. So, and I stay steady on the path. I don't change the direction on the information. You can see that I stay on this. You see people that are changing every day on their direction, and they're just searching for information, and they're not quite sure themselves what to believe. Structure and strength and a path that is consistent is what you need to trust. Pay attention to those that stay on that path and stay consistent on that information. They do not change their plan halfway through. They annihilate the situation. They move on to the next phase. So remember that. So, I did warn you that there were certain places you should have to take your money out of, and you still believe those. And you, in coming days, will see things dismantled in the way they need to be dismantled. That is proper. But you might see some being burnt to the ground. I think that's proper too. So, and this walking awareness that is being seen now, and the people that were slowly peeking over the fence are really looking over the fence now. They're really drawing their own conclusions and things. And that is going to bring people to the streets to ask questions and be alert. I'm not in a fear process. I don't think you should be either. You're just in the middle of a process that needs to be dismantled. And like I say, you can look at one view and you see the 3D view, and you can look at another view and you can see the 4D view. So, and if you can walk through them and feel calm and walking through fire and watching things burn down, you'll be okay. Because when that's done, a new start is already happening. So those who've been doing this from the time that they were young, following their own path, their own instinct, their own intuition, fighting for it every day, your reward in a different way is coming. Your verification is coming. And those ones who've been bought and sold with every flesh need, your day will end too. That's coming. So, and you can sense the power behind you and the light and that direction that you need to stay in strong. Because they are seeing it all. They are watching this moment in time that we are going through. And it's very important. And it is going to bring you to your knees, as I've always told you. Looking at a society in one level annihilates prejudice across the board. There's nothing to measure anymore. And that's great. So I'm just coming on here because I feel that you guys just need a little information. And I'm going to be focusing on the weeks of we're at a process. And I say the healers that are standing up, good job. And leading people to their own ability, good job. But the ones who are still making them run in circles, that will end for you. So it's all about a collective of energy coming as one together and evolving as one together and ascending as one together. You should grab a hold of that and start applying that information. Because down deep inside, it was about going to ascend into that energy that we all are a part of. And nothing can stop that. And so when we're on the other side, you will see the puzzle, the traps, all of it. Nothing can be hidden. So I just want to come on and answer some of these questions that people are concerned with. And let you know that there's a big force behind you now. That's good. And listen to it. It's talking to you. Creation. Verification. I talk in riddles sometimes, but I have a lot of conversations developing up here. If you haven't figured that out yet. Directing information, sometimes it's hard. Even drawing or writing what they want me to draw or write out, or a lot of it is not a 3D concept, so you have to really be open to just viewing it the first time and relaying the information. So I got some unusual drawings coming. They're advancing into our situation. So let me get you guys get clear on this. It's not my agenda to worry about other beings that have controlled this planet. I don't care really about the alien process. I don't. They have their own way of doing things. I care about the creator's process. And that has always been my voice. And that will always stay. So all those other processing programs that you listen to it'll either fall to the side or be true. Honestly, I just don't think for me that was ever a good source to go into, or it was reliable. So I preferred something that was resided in me before I was here, and it is dependable and accurate, and that is above all that. And that is where I'll return one day. So will we all. So I want you to have a good Sunday. But hang on, it's going to be a bumpy ride. So just adapt, go with the flow, accept, release, move on, and don't go in anger. Hold tight. You're on a bumpy ride. So if you guys want to get in contact with me, you have any questions, set up classes, confusion of any of this information, I got to tell you something that I'm proud of seeing. Once in a while I have to do what Spirit tells me to do, and on a task I don't want to do, and I'm seeing these younger generations really ask questions and really open up to accepting the information, and I think I'm excited about that. You're seeing more of it, and you're seeing people stepping into their energy they were supposed to, and they're not in fear anymore. So I'm happy to see the younger generation getting on board with the situation. Not all of them, but there is a big area of them that is jumping on the bandwagon. So what you see on TV shall come to pass, and how that power is plugged in, and one day it's not going to be there, and there will be no way to get your information from that. So get ready to think on your own. So everybody thinks I'm a bit serious about how things are and what I do. I am serious about it. I don't think it's a laughing matter. I don't. So everything I do is serious. Everything is about doing the right thing and doing it the right way. So I'm a serious remote viewer. I'm a serious medium, in everything I do. So I guess it makes people feel uncomfortable, but put yourself in my position. You would be very serious about it too. So that is why I'm a very serious person, and I just want the truth. So reside in light energy, reside in meditation, reside in natural lighting, reside in nature, reside in animals. Stay in that. That's going to keep you balanced. So have a good day. Good night.